The opening scene features a funeral director, Elliot Deacon, who owns a funeral home as a part of his daily routine. He prepares the corpses for their funeral while talking to them softly. Currently, he is seen preparing the body of an elderly piano teacher. We then cut to a middle school teacher and a tailor who is having intercourse with her boyfriend, Paul. Lucky Paul, despite the romantic setting, she doesn't seem to be enjoying it at all later. While showering, Paul inquires about the matter, but she insists that she's fine, though her expression says the opposite. Following this, Anna heads to work where she finds two big kids bullying her little student, Jack. She reprimands them and immediately fends them off after work. Anna is leaving school when the lights start flickering in the hallway. Scared, she frantically runs towards the exit but finds the door locked amidst this intense moment. Jack appears and inexplicably opens the door without any problem that evening. Anna attends the funeral of her former piano teacher at Elliot's place as she approaches the dead body. She sees it moving its mouth. Have you been practicing your scales, startling her for a moment? But upon having a second look, she finds that it's normal and realizes that it must have been her imagination. Later that night, Anna goes to meet Paul at a fancy restaurant for dinner. During this, he tells her about his promotion to the company's headquarters, so he has to move to Chicago. He then pulls out a ring from his pocket, intending to propose to her and take her along with him. But before he can do so, Anna starts arguing as she thinks that he's going to break up with her. Paul tries to explain the truth, but she storms off without listening. She drives off in a state of distress and amidst of the heavy rain ends up getting into a traffic accident. In the next scene, we see Anna on an embalming table in the funeral home with a pale face and a wound on her forehead shortly after Elliot walks in and starts preparing her as he proceeds to undress her. Anna opens her eyes and asks where she is. Elliot, with a surprising calmness, answers that she's in the funeral home and that she's dead. He further reminds her that she collided with a truck loaded with metal pipes, causing her to die 8 hours ago. Confused and terrified, Anna still doesn't believe that she's dead despite the funeral director's reassurances that she's merely in transition to the afterlife. Meanwhile, Paul wakes up in his house and attempts to contact his girlfriend numerous times. However, Anna's belongings are now with Elliot, who disregards the call and puts them in a storage closet alongside the belongings of other corpses. Unable to find her anywhere, Paul goes to her mother's house to inquire about her whereabouts. Much to his shock, Mom reveals about the tragic accident that led to her demise. In addition, she blames him for letting her drive in such bad weather back in the funeral home. Elliot stitches Anna's wounds, and she's perplexed that she isn't feeling pain. She inquires about this, but he ignores her and injects her with a fictional drug called hydronium bromide.